The increase in heroin and fentanyl abuse has law enforcement fearing for their safety and the users they come across. Agencies are looking to invest in emergency overdose medicine that officers can carry with them on the job. Fox 7's Noel Newton looks into the situation in this week's Crime Watch, but we do need to warn you the video you're about to see is graphic.
In September, the East Liverpool Police Department in Ohio released photos of a man and woman unconscious from the effects of an opioid overdose in the front seat of a car, while a little boy remained strapped in his car seat. 2 weeks later, more heartbreaking images made news as a mother was captured on camera overdosing on the floor of a Massachusetts store. Her daughter can be heard screaming, tugging at her limp body. These situations are occurring all across America, including right here in Central Texas.
I was them at one point. So, it makes me a little sick at my stomach because it brings back the memory of who I used to be.
Chris Gates first started using heroin in the 80s while working as a musician.
I ended up with a fairly serious heroin addiction. And by fairly serious, I mean I was dead 6 times in the last year I was using, brought back by EMS.
Gates, as well as police, have noticed an increase in use of heroin and, more frighteningly, the more potent fentanyl in recent years. In July, the DEA put out this warning advising officers to exercise extreme caution when handling fentanyl.
It is 40 to 50 times stronger than street-level heroin. A very small amount ingested or absorbed through your skin can kill you.
Commander Steve Deaton oversees the narcotics unit at APD.
It's changing the way we do raids and warrants and even the way we test narcotics. With the prevalence of it out there on the market, we have to really be cognizant every time that we do testing that we're real careful, we're methodical, we're wearing the right safety equipment and clothing, etc.
After a SWAT team in Connecticut was exposed to fentanyl that went airborne after the use of a flashbang device, Deaton halted the use of distractionary devices in raids where fentanyl may be present. He wants to take the safety protocol a step further by arming his officers with Narcan, emergency treatment for an opioid overdose. Austin Travis County EMS has carried it for years.
We can administer it via IV, via intranasally, so actually aerosolize it and squirt it up someone's nose, or we can give it intermuscular, so into the actual muscle as an injection. You can take them from totally unresponsive, barely breathing, to totally awake, totally responsive. That's how dramatic effect is.
That very scenario was captured on this video released by the Upper Darby Police Department in Delaware. Watch as the man on your right shoots up heroin, passes out, and is then given Narcan. He's up and able to walk from the bus. Back in Austin, Deaton is not just concerned with officer safety. He wants to broaden his proposal for the medication by asking the department to provide Narcan to all patrol officers should they reach a patient before EMS.
I've even seen folks that had no pulse, weren't breathing, come back to life from the use of Narcan.
UT police just completed training on the medication and will begin carrying Narcan auto-injectors this week.
If the police get there 2 minutes before the ambulance, that could be the difference in life and death. So I think it's awesome that they're carrying it with them.
Gates says this is not how an addict's life should end. It can get better. He is living proof.
I would love for more people to see what's possible. My life is enormous, and I shouldn't be able to have the life I have. By all rights, it shouldn't be possible, and yet here I am.
Noel Newton, Fox 7 News.
Austin Travis County EMS reports performing 675 applications of Narcan in 2015. Between January and April of this year, paramedics administered 183 doses. Sometimes it takes more than one dose to treat a patient. Narcan is also sometimes used to rule out a medical condition. Paramedics say if you encounter someone who may be overdosing, do your best to help them breathe by providing mouth-to-mouth.